That's, well, that's a great way to start out. Hey, this is Ashley, Legacy Farms Coffee. We were going to do a quick podcast. I had a couple of people that had asked about coffee stuff, but and some of the stuff that I'd been talking about a couple of months ago. I got this flow control aerial press top and didn't really like it at first. It goes a lot faster, and you can use it with either the paper filter or the metal. I've been using it with the metal disc that they gave me with it. Let's see. And so I was going to let her know about that I love those two things. And another question I had to everybody else is this third wave water. Well, all right, we need to click that off. Wild Bill, what do you know good?
Nothing. There's nothing good. You hear me okay?
The volume seems very low. I was turning mine up to see if it was me.
It was having problems letting me check my microphone, so it might be on my side too. I don't know.
Have you tried to turn yours up?
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so it's not like I have a lot of options. So.
I can hear you pretty good. It's pretty quiet here. No, I've got a different computer. Do what?
It's just Brielle saying hi. That's all.
Oh, I thought you said something.
Yeah.
Hi there.
You say hi?
Have you done anything else with your roaster?
Not yet. I still gotta get a heating source, so I'm on the way to try to get one to at least try it, but I haven't got one yet. So.
Well, I was thinking. I mean, there's some. If it doesn't tell you how many BTU you use or you need, I mean, you could look up Hucky and see how much Hucky has, and that's a 1 pound roaster.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That'll at least give me something, at least.
I'm trying to find some snacks. I found one Oreo cookie in the bathroom, and I got some Rolos that I bought my wife to put in her stocking, but they wouldn't all fit. So I just put them in. Instead of giving her the extra, I put it in my Honduras bag. Hey, have you ever used any of this?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
It's supposedly to make the. It's called third wave water.
So I've heard about, how do I sound now, by the way? Am I better?
Yeah, I'm still getting an echo when I talk. But
all right, hold on 1 second. Let me try something before I answer the question.
But it's fine. It's not a big deal.
Well, there's an echo cancel.
See if it works. How's that now? Is that better?
Man, you're 10 by 10 now.
Okay.
I just sent you a picture of it. My wife bought it for me for Christmas.
So I would like to know what you think about it, because I've heard people talk about this all the time on there. It's like the next level in snobbery when it comes to coffee, third wave water. But I've heard that you can make it really cheap on your own. At least to make the water SCA approved or whatever. It's very easy to do on your own.
I haven't read the instructions or anything. I got it Christmas, and I knew I wanted to take it to Honduras. So usually about 2 weeks before I travel to Honduras, I take my big suitcase out and lay it in the corner of the bedroom.
Okay.
And I don't care if I'm out in the roastery or wherever. If I think, I need to take this to Honduras, I'll stop what I'm doing, take it, and put it in there. Because it takes me a while to get packed. And when I throw my bag up on the scale, it's usually 69 pounds. And I try to get that close. And then Julia's waiting out front of the airport. So if it's ever over 70, I can pull a shirt out and either run it back in there or, whatever I need to. to get that weight out of there. The guard dog's fussing about something. Hey, Leia, come inside. She learned how to open the door, so she just has free run of the place. She
the doggy.
She won't come in the house unless you tell her to, but the exact same door is on the cupping lab, and she opens and goes and comes just however she wants to. I'm sure the FDA would love to know about that, but she goes and sleeps under the cupping lab. So that's her thing. Well, man, I wish you weren't so far away, because I've got a bag of coffee that's just fair. I was saying that you could have gotten some of it, and I need to just get some shipped to you for you to play with. I got to think of what lot it is, but it was a 74 or 78. I got to look. I forget what it was.
Is that this year's?
No.
Oh, okay.
Last year's coffee.
Yeah, I'm going to work my way up. I mean, I figure I'll put a pound in, and then I'll put a couple pounds in, and I'll put, just to see at what point it stops hitting that, 8 to 10 minute first crack mark, and see. So I don't know. I tried it on the barbecue grill and only got up to about 200 pounds. And they recommend 450 on a preheat.
You said it got up to 200 degrees?
Yeah, on the grill. Because I think it's because, well, for one, it was cold outside, and two, I think my back. Am I good now?
Yep, now you're back.
Okay.
You froze for a minute. You said it got to 200 degrees, or?
Yeah, I think it's because it was too far above the heat. Like the heat wasn't right under it. I think it was probably was 6 inches above it, so it probably didn't get it hot. So. Because of that, but I mean, I left it on there for like 20 minutes trying to get it to warm up, and I couldn't get it above that like 210 or so, weight degrees wise. You just want to be part of the show, don't you? Good grief!
I'm ready for my close up.
That's right. She's yeah. I'm just talking to Ashley. Yeah.
Oh. Well, when you get time, shoot me some better pictures of it. I'd like to look it up a little bit, because I mean, if you can make that work, I think you sent me the price of it one time. What is the name of it again?
I'll have to send it to you. It's the company's called ICNZ, I think it is. It's a Chinese company.
Yeah.
On there for it, but there's one on eBay that runs a little over $300, and this one was about $289 on Amazon. So with Amazon Prime, so I figure if I could get 3 pounds out of it, that's 3 times as much that the Be More cost me, the same amount of money. It's 3 times as much product. So
way more than fresh roast. So
yeah, exactly. But,
no, I think. And I think you'll have more control over that than you will to Be More.
Yeah.
So even if you could just do 2 pounds and gain control and be able to do different profiles, and I think you'll really like it. You're more technical than I am. If it's more than press down the lid and turn, I give up on instructions and stuff like that. And so when it comes to artisan and really utilizing artisan, I haven't really, done artisan as much as I used all of its options and stuff like that. So I think if you could get that thing hooked up on artisan, you would really, you'd really gain a lot.
That's what I'm thinking too. I actually just got while we're sitting here, I just got a response back from the company off of Amazon. It's ICZW. But I was asking about that stainless steel question you and I were talking about, and they said it's actually 304 stainless steel. They just have it marked incorrectly.
Well, so, great.
Yeah.
I had to walk away and get a pen.
That's fine.
Well, no, that's great because I mean that gives you some peace of mind,
Yeah, it does.
and but no, I like my artisan just because it sure gives me reference points and nothing other. If you never use anything other than the temperature gauge and the timer on it.
Right.
Hey, Richard's on saying quit making fun of the fresh roast. Now, Richard, I've got this 700 here, and I've got some women coming over this weekend from that work at the just work around here. They're helping Anna do a project, and I'm going to get them to get the fresh roast 700 out and play with it. Now, the first 700 I bought, it wouldn't get hot. It couldn't get it. I mean, just didn't get hot. And so they sent me another base. It took 3 months, but I got it because I was in Honduras. And then, but I never could get that base to hook into the computer. So I just I love the thing the way it was. It's so easy to roast, and you just eyeball right there. You can just see everything that's going on. So, I mean, for me, it was just a really nice sample roaster. And the only reason I went with the drum roaster is because I sort of wanted apples to apples, oranges to oranges kind of stuff. I didn't think I could develop profiles on a fresh roast that are going to be anything similar to what I have in a drum roaster. So by using the little Hucky, they both plug into the same artisan program. And I like it. I like it pretty well. And I've got a Hucky. I was lucky and got another Hucky for the United States. And I got to start pushing the coffee, man. I've been getting dehydrated. I've been pushing water for the last couple of days. Been trying to get sick. So I I've slept a lot today. It's been a pretty day. Anna's people didn't show up to work her coffee that she had on the patio. So I got out there coughing up a lung, and I had a fever. And I opened up all of her coffee and spread it out on the patio. I think she had probably 2,500 pounds of coffee out there and got it spread out because the sun was out and nobody was here. So I got it out. Finally, her husband showed up. He was he buys and sells coffee. So well, have you got a line on what kind of burner system you think you're going to try?
Yeah, yes and no. I've got a friend who has a turkey like roaster or whatnot, like that has that burner. So I'm going to try that one first, just to see if I really need as large as what the problem is that these are so far and few between. I only know like one person that has the same exact roaster, and he just went and got a 200,000 BTU burner. And I'm like, I wonder if I could do something smaller, more economical than that, and still reach it. Still reach what I need. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah. But I was thinking about it today, and my thought was, find somebody that's built a deep fryer, fish fryer or something like that. But I think the rosebud burner heads, or whatever you call them, they focus the heat really well. And so the fire, it's focused and it's shooting out, straighter. And if you could get something that is designed to go along the same direction as your, my drum is 22 inches long, and my burners are have 3 straight rows that run along the bottom of it, and they're 17 inches from one end to the other. And so the original burners that came with it were 3 5-inch round burners.
Okay.
And so when I did the new system, I actually raised them up closer to the drum, and then I re-insulated my drum so that I wouldn't have as much heat loss. And so just just basic things I knew how to change that might make a difference.
Yeah.
But, you can always build your own burner system too.
Yeah, and I mean, I figure I'm going to. I mean, see. I mean, this is the first time I've done an external heating, system. So it should be
Yeah.
fun to play with. I mean, they did say in the instructions, what little instructions I got from the Chinese place, that they recommended using heat and then shutting the heat completely off when the beans reach 70% maturity on there. So I don't know if that means that the heat's going to continue inside,
No,
past that 70% or what. But
you're letting that momentum go ahead and push you through first crack.
I figured, okay, but I wondered.
And I do that when I hit probably 425 to 430 or something. I go ahead and start. I bump the gas down from 12 to 9 inches of water column, and then it goes up another 10 degrees or so. Then I'll go ahead and shut the gas off, and it'll push the coffee all the way through first crack.
Okay.
And that slows everything down, because when you start hitting first crack, things start going fast. And
Yeah.
before you know it, you're in second crack, and I don't want to get into second crack, so that lets me push it through, and it's sort of rolling pretty good. I punched in rosebud burners, but I didn't get anything up.
I was laughing at my daughter. She's seeing herself in the camera and stop.
Now everything I'm getting looks like it's burning down a field or something. No. But now the thing I've got is just 3 rows. And when I get back in March, I'm taking it all out. I'm going to redo a lot of that. I'm going to go with 1-inch pipe. I'm going to have 3 strips of 1-inch pipe. And then I'm going to weld a pipe on the end so I even the pressure out. And then I'm going to run my gas in from both sides instead of just one side. And so I should have perfectly even gas pressure. And I'm probably going to add another 3 or 4 burners in to it, just to give me a little bit extra heat in case I need it. Richard, which one do you think is 25,000 BTU? Oh, he says a single fry burner would get hot enough. He thinks it's 20. He thinks they're 25,000 BTU. When you said, 250,000. Yeah, I was going to say, you said 220,000. Well, yeah, that might be be easy enough to get, and that's something you could probably take back. I'm not sure what an academy is. If that's just like a sort of like a smaller version of Lowell's or something.
Oh, it's Academy Sports. I think he's talking about Academy Sports.
Okay.
It's like a full out Dick's Sporting Goods type of place. So
Okay, well, that's where I went to get my cup. So
something like that, but this one's gun friendly. So
yeah, this one they had a gun store in there. I've never bought a cup before, so that was interesting,
Yeah.
And then I felt awkward, so then I felt the need to make her feel awkward, and so I said, "If you got one that's double X large," and she just smiled and walked away. Probably could have gotten arrested for that.
Yeah, no, not Dick. No. I wouldn't go to Dick's. We've stopped going there since they stopped selling AR-15. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, they went like very much against them. The assault rifle. Don't crucify me, Richard. I'm putting quotations up. The assault rifle. So,
Isn't that what AR stands for?
do I?
Isn't that what AR stands for?
That's what everybody says it stands for. Yes, but no.
That's what AOC says it stood for.
So no, but I think is I have found one on Facebook Marketplace where the lady was like, "Listen, I used it for brewing beer, and I was able to get." I want to say she said something like, "It seems like a lot, but 200 gallon or something to a boil with it, or something like that, or maybe it was 20 gallon. I don't know." But and I was like, "Well, that sounds good and all. I just need to get to the supposedly you could put this on a gas stove in your house." And it supposedly will get hot enough to do what it needs to do. But the person I know that did this said that he put it on his gas stove and couldn't quite get it all the way where it needed to be when it was roasting. So he took it outside quick and threw it on his grill, and it got up over that 425 degree mark that got first crack going at that point. So, but I don't have a gas grill inside, our gas stove inside. No way would I ever attempt to get my wife to allow me to do that inside. So the only thing I'm concerned about is this will also be the first thing that does not have chaff control. And if I'm doing 3-4 pounds at a time, I'm going to have to upgrade something with my cooling station too. So I use a small fan with a colander right now, so that's all I need. So,
now, I have seen some good cooling setups on Amazon.
yeah, but I don't know that they're 3-4 pounds worth though. But
No, I don't think it's anything for that big. I think you may have to get yourself a. But I know that I've got I'm fixing to do a booster system, and I've bought a couple fans in the States, and they were $50 or $60, but they're throwing a couple hundred CFM. So that would cool 3 to 5 pounds down. I'm just looking for something that'll boost what I've already got, and I'm trying to cool down 25 pounds.
Yeah.
And so
right now, outside, anything will get cool quick. Right now.
Well, I always thought it was 2 minutes. I thought 2 or 3 minutes was what you're shooting for.
Yep, that's what I've heard too. 2 or 3 minutes. More what?
I made homemade boiled custard tonight. I just got feeling like I wanted some. So I think I'm going to mix some coffee with it.
You want more water? You want another cracker? You want another cracker? That's what.
Richard said he thought it was Armalite rifle. I'm pretty sure it's automatic rifle. That's what it is. Automatic assault rifle.
You're going to get yourself crucified here in a second.
Get Richard to start cussing. I watched her and another senator one night babble about the AR-15, and she kept saying assault rifle 15 and just babbling, and then she kept saying automatic, and so just and AR I've got I like the AR okay, but I've got a 30 caliber carbine that if I were to get mad, I'd probably say this on the podcast, but if I were to get mad and go into the mall to kill everybody, I'd take my 30 caliber carbine. That thing's got way more knockdown power, and it's just got the same 30 round magazines. But no, I'm not a big rifle fan. I've never been really good at long shots, and I've never hunted. So I've always shot targets and that's done some shooting drills and stuff like that. So I've always liked the pistol.
I feel like you should have some kind of thing right here that says opinions and facts stated on this podcast are not the same of Legacy Farms Coffee, and have only been exclusively of Ashley Williams and stuff.
I think so far, I think we got 6 people watching. I think so far we would all agree on most of the things.
All right, thank you, Richard. I appreciate you, man.
Oh, cool. Well, I was talking to somebody today. I've got a guy coming up. He and his wife are coming up on the 28th. I keep a Bible, a Spanish, English Bible under the table at work, and every once in a while I'll try to read something in Spanish from the Bible. Some of your top 10 little verses. But whenever somebody gives me a tip, I put it in that Bible. And so from the time I got back in October to I got here last week, I had like $46 in tips. And so usually I spend that money on pizza. And so Eli and I decided that we're going to do a party on February the 29th.
Okay.
I'm surprised how many people here don't know. When I ask them how many days February had, they didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like either 30 or 31, I think, And I said, no, this year is February only has 28. I said, but this year is going to be different. But I think we're going to have a little throwdown, and I got to take Julia back to the airport February the 28th to go back to the States.
Okay.
And then I think the 29th, Eli and I are going to have like a little party. We're going to celebrate February the 29th with pizza and giant bottle rockets. So that's my plan. And when you mentioned about barbecue grill, I was thinking I was going to build a barbecue grill. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on my list to get started on tomorrow.
Shouldn't be that hard in Honduras, right? You build a big pit, put
I'm going to do a metal one. I used to have a wood stove in the house.
Oh, okay.
But I designed the house and built it. I wanted a porch, but I wanted some part of the porch really part of the house under the roof. And so I have a cut into the house, and that's where the front part started. And then later on, I built a deck onto that. So it's a pretty decent sized porch. And that lets me move. I move all the chairs and stuff back, and they don't get wet when it rains and stuff. But in doing so, when the wind blows, that's a focal point where it catches that air and pushes in under the door or whatever. Well, in that wall, I built a wood stove. And so it would blow that smoke back into the house too. And so we used it some because when we first got here, we thought we were freezing to death that first winter. And we all four slept in the same bedroom, had a little space heater in there. It just feels cold when you're out in it all day, and then you come in and the house is cold. And even though it's not below 55 degrees, it's just, 100% humidity at night. And so it felt cold. So I built a little wood stove, but I think it's big enough that I could put me a decent barbecue, make a decent barbecue grill out of it. And I think it'd be fun to have that here.
Yeah.
Especially when me and the boys are here, we tend to grill out more. But I was talking to a couple of customers, and they asked some questions about what all went on the farm and stuff like that. And so I told them I would talk about that a little bit tonight. But we don't pick coffee constantly for that 3 months during harvest. What we do is it all depends on how many people we can get to work. So if we've got at least 75 or 80 people picking, it usually takes about 12 days to pick the farm. If we can pick the farm within 12 days, we'll wait about another 8 to 10 days. And the first lot that they pick is probably already starting to ripen again. And then, so that next we usually skip 2 Mondays and we start picking again. And so during that time when we're not picking, all the guys that we're picking, we've got them working on the patio or living out at Llano, working the coffee out there. And so then the big crew that worked at my place goes to the farm down from me, and then, they'll go to another farm, then they'll come back. So that's we start picking generally the 8th of January is what it's been for the last 5 years. This year we actually started picking in December, and just instead of we always pick in December, but usually it's just a tiny bit, 200 or 300 pounds a day. And this year there was over a week where they picked an average of 6,000 pounds a day. And that was before the first of the year. And so generally that coffee gets sold. We don't do anything with it, but we were able to get it dried and keep it. So we're waiting the 2 weeks now to start picking on the 15th. And then if we can get about anywhere from 75 to 120 people is what I like to have out here. It would be perfect if we had 120 people. That's our perfect number. If we had that many people, we could pick the whole farm in about 5 or 6 days. And again, it's according to the configuration. Are they, a bunch of 12-year-old girls, which is very seldom that happens, but men to women ratio, because men tend to pick more than women do. And so, and then younger boys can really pick, but they pick sloppy. So it's just according to who you've got, what that number is made up of. But generally, we pick the biggest day we've ever had. We picked 17,000 pounds of coffee in one day. And when I say we, I had very little to do with it. But that was our biggest day ever. It was 17,900 or something like that. It was a crazy big number. But this next picking that we have should be a really big picking. So we start picking on Monday. My son gets here on Tuesday, and then he'll start pulping the coffee Wednesday morning. So the coffee will actually sit for a day and a half at least before we start, pulping it. It needs to ferment a little bit. And so we have a couple different ways. Sometimes we take the cherry off and then ferment it, which takes longer. Sometimes, and it's the most popular process of other farms, sometimes they'll pulp it and then put it in water and ferment it. I don't like that process. I've never understood it. It doesn't seem like it warms up. It doesn't seem like it's really fermenting. We don't do that. This year, we're going to do some anaerobic fermentation. We'll do about 4 55-gallon drums. We'll do that anaerobic. But most of the coffee, half the coffee will get processed, washed, and the other half honey. That's generally how the mix is, with the exception of the Marsellesa. And the processes depend on the weather. If it's bad weather, we wash it. If it's pretty good weather, we do honey. If it's excellent weather, we'll do a little bit more natural. And so by the season probably ending early this year, we'll probably do less natural because the weather won't be hot enough. But if I can possibly do some more of the Marsellesa, I had some really nice Marsellesa natural, and we did a test lot last year, and everybody really liked it. So I'm going to try to do, 700 or 800 pounds of the Marsellesa natural again, which, Richard, I think you got some of that lot M2 in. I think that was what you got. But Barry and Patrick, they're on here quite a bit. Those guys picked up some of it and really liked it. But it sold out pretty quick. And it cupped at 87 or 88. So it was definitely a nice coffee, and so definitely worth doing again. Versus a variety like the Perinema. I've never had a Perinema that I did in a natural that cupped better than the 83, doing it natural. So that coffee just doesn't work out well on a natural. Where last year, my worst score on my Perinema was 86. And then I had 2 lots that were 86.5. And then my biggest lot was 88. And those were all honey. And so, there was one lot that was washed, but I've got like 1,000 pounds of that 88. So I've really got to figure out how to roast it well. And I'll start roasting that and selling it as soon as I get back in March. So that's the plan with that. But so this week, we're not doing anything on the farm. We're only drying Anna's coffee, and I let her take vacation starting tomorrow. So she's taken off 4 days because she's been working, day in, day out for the last couple of weeks. And so I'll have her, she'll come in on Friday. So my guys will dry her coffee for her. So they'll put it out every morning, take it up every afternoon. And while they're doing that, we're going to be hauling rocks down the hill to try to fix some bad spots in the road so that when we do start picking, I'll be able to get the coffee out. There'll be a dump truck that comes in, brings us some more tomorrow. I've got to drive into town, pick up tires. We're just doing just regular old stuff, nothing. I'm going to borrow 5,000 pounds of coffee from my friend Herbert. I'm going to go to his mill and he'll buy it and they'll load it in my truck. And then I'll bring it back here to run it through my depulper so that I can try my depulper out before Jonathan gets here. I want to make sure that everything's working on it. So I'll try to, I want to make sure that if it's broken, we find out Wednesday morning. So Tuesday night, I'll go pick up some coffee and then we'll load it into the tank. We'll fire up the conveyors and the depulper, or the augers and the depulper, and make sure everything's working right. And then once we pulp the coffee, we'll actually bag it up and take it back to Herbert. And then literally he's letting us borrow his coffee for a little while. But just little things, calibrate all the moisture testers. There was a couple lots that Anna and them dried that were really low humidity because they didn't calibrate the tester. And she knew she should have. She just forgot, And so everything they were testing was off.
So you let it get like drier than it need to be? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's drier than what I'd like for it to be. And so those lots will get marked with an A, and they won't be sold. Then A stands for Ashley. So there'll be lots that I roast. And so I'll roast them a couple times in the sampler. We'll have them cupped. We'll get them cupped next week to see if it hurt them. But I don't think it hurt them. But it loses weight. So, losing weight is losing money when you're talking about grain. So I'll get them cupped, and I'll roast some of them and try to make a profile for them. And then I'll figure out what to do with them by the time I get them back to the States. That's sort of the goal.
Well, I hate to cut off early, but I've got a little girl to put to sleep. So.
Well, Eli said the mom was going to let him stay up till 10:30 tonight. I promised him I'd wrap it up early, and we could play poker on Messenger. Has a poker game you can play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'll call him on Messenger. What you got there, buddy?
What you got? Show him. What you got? Your daddy's earbud or mommy's earbuds?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it would be food or something good.
She's already got a couple of those already.
Well, I got a little bit of coffee and one more caramel, and I'm going to talk to Eli and go to bed. That's my plan.
That's my plan. I'm going to get up early, but let's get some. I don't know. Cold year if you're getting bad down from Kansas, but it's supposed to snow like the Dickens later this week up here. So we're trying to get to work and get stuff done. So if I'm stuck here for 2 days, I don't have as much work to do. So.
Well, we got Kansas got a foot of snow on Friday. I don't know. Did y'all get any snow from that batch?
Yeah, a foot of snow.
Yeah.
No, well, we did get a foot. If that's it, I think we got a dusting that stuck around. But maybe the whole front yard would make one like 2.5 foot to 3 foot snow made. But that's about it.
It didn't stay long, but they apparently they thought it was fun to get my truck out of the shop and go out and do donuts in it. And I asked him what was wrong with his truck, why he didn't do it in his truck. But all right, man, we're going to sign off. Thanks for jumping on. And if I can help you find burners or anything like that, let me know. I'll do what I can.
Well, I'm sure I'll probably be looking for some tips and tricks about drum roasting over propane before too long, just to get an idea. But I at least want to see it get up to temperature first, and then I'll know. So at least get somewhere to start. So, but,
yeah, no, I think it's baby steps, but you'll get it figured out.
Yeah.
Richard said they got 2 inches, but well, Eli told me they got a foot, so I think this, that might mean just a lot.
Maybe.
They got the truck out and the 4-wheeler out and played and had fun, so that's all that matters.
Homeschoolers, actually, or they exaggeration for homeschooling.
Yeah, they just left school. They used to do that here too. They just run away sometimes. Well, man, we'll let you go. Y'all get to bed, get some sleep, and I hope it snows tomorrow. A foot.
All right, Wesley. Have a good night.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for hopping on there, Richard. We'll talk to you soon, brother.